Hey, what's up, guys? Chris back with part two of my collection haul update. So yeah, I had a few more Criterion titles come in, and I had a bunch of other random stuff that I picked up either on 4K or DVD from the last few months that I didn't show on my YouTube channel. So here we go. Got the re-release edition of Army of Shadows. Excellent French film. So yeah, this was out of print for many years, so thankfully Criterion brought it back. It was going for around 60 to 70 bucks, somewhere around there. So I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to spend that much for it. So thankfully, got it back in stock. Also got Ivan's Childhood by Tarkovsky. And yeah, I've been wanting this one for quite a while, but I don't know why I held off. Such great cinematography. And that's what I love about these Soviet era films. They're just wonderfully shot. It feels like you're actually there and you're not just, watching a movie. But yeah, excellent film. Show you inside. Really great edition. I wish I had more supplements, but can't complain. Got a great transfer. Yeah, I had this one for a while. Cold War. Also got Roma, which is right there on my shelf. So yeah, that was another pickup from a few months back. But again, I saw this one at one of those art house theaters. We have the Laemmle out in LA. Back when we can go to the theaters. So yeah, excellent cinematography, and I can't wait to revisit it on Blu-ray. So yeah, that's it as far as my Criterion pickups. I'm actually waiting for one more to arrive, which is another Soviet-era film, and that film is Come and See. So I heard great things about that one, and I heard the transfer looks great too. So looking forward to that one. Yeah, that was one of the hot items this year during the Criterion sale, along with, of course, the Bruce Lee box set and the War of the Worlds. So moving along to my 4K pickups, and I got The Call of the Wild. Again, this film suffered during a pandemic situation, which got shut down within a week after its release, a week or 2 weeks, something like that. And this is an okay film. I love films that showcases animals and whatnot. I'm a huge animal lover, especially dogs and cats. And a lot of people were complaining that the dog is CGI, and I can understand that. But when you CGI a dog, you have full control of what you want the dog to do, rather than having a real dog that's just gonna run around and chase things and what have you. But I'm just glad to see Harrison Ford still acting, because I know nowadays he's just piloting around, having trouble landing the plane. Typical Indiana Jones stuff, right? But looking forward to the fifth Indiana Jones film. Unfortunately, it still hasn't been filmed. I think they're still working on the script, and Steven Spielberg backed out of directing it, which sucks. I was really hoping he would return and direct it, but we'll see what happens. Once the pandemic situation is cleared and out of the way, I'm sure we'll get the fifth one going. Cross our fingers. Alrighty, so moving along to my next 4K pickup, and that is The Invisible Man with Elisabeth Moss. And this film surprised me. I didn't really have high expectations going in, but at the end, I really enjoyed it. Nice, suspenseful thriller, and the story in itself is pretty unique. And if you still haven't seen it, I'm not going to spoil it. Just check it out if you love, suspenseful thrillers. And it's really, like I said, well-crafted film, and I just absolutely loved it. All right, moving along to a couple of my Shout Factory pickups. Got Escape from LA. Sure, it's not as great as the original one. It's still a fun ride nonetheless. I grew up watching this film, so it's, nostalgic ride for me, definitely. And surprisingly, the CGI effects doesn't look as bad with this edition because they darken things up. The original release that was put out by Paramount was a lot brighter. So yeah, in that edition, the CGI looked awful. But yeah, not as bad here, but a really solid edition. But unfortunately, Carpenter and Kurt Russell didn't do a commentary track for this one. It would have been nice if they did, but it is what it is. But great cast. You got Steve Buscemi, Peter Fonda, and I love this European actress right here, really beautiful, that hangs out with Pliskin. So anyway, got that one. Also got Glengarry, Glen Ross. This is Seinfeld's favorite film. So pretty nice conversation piece. I really enjoy this one. Great cast, man. Besides, of course, Al Pacino, you got Jack Lemmon, Alec Baldwin, Ed Harris, Alan Arkin, Kevin Spacey. It's funny how they took out Kevin Spacey in one of the earlier releases. You don't, see his face on the image, but I believe you see him here. Let me see. Yeah, they took him out from here too. That's funny. But anyway, got that one. All right, the next one I got is The Mad Magician, the Indicator release, starring the one and only master of horror, Vincent Price. And this is a region-free release if you want to pick it up, because the original release that was put out by, I think, Twilight Time, was sold out. So it was going for like $100+. And shout out to Jim Cameron, who watches my YouTube videos. He's the one who actually told me about this release. And no, he's not the director. It's another guy. But anyway, really cool addition to pick up. Yeah, love this film. Love all of Vincent Price's horrors. But this one in particular is a really fun one. All right, the next one I got is Underwater with Kristen Stewart, Vincent Cassell, and T.J. Miller. And surprisingly, I really enjoyed this film. I didn't think I would like it, but at the end, I was pleasantly surprised by it. Unfortunately, we don't get a 4K release. I don't know if folks internationally got one in 4K, but hopefully we will at some point. But yeah, and I'm not even a Kristen Stewart fan, but I really liked her performance in this one, and the story in itself was really interesting. Check it out if you haven't seen it. It's been out for a while. All right, next up is The Good Liar, starring Helen Mirren and Ian McKellen. And again, this is one of those movies where I didn't have high expectations, but at the end, I was surprised, especially with that twist going on in the movie. And solid performances. If this movie was released, let's say, in the early 2000s or late 90s, I'm sure it would have been a lot more successful at the box office. Because nowadays, we're spoiled, today's generation, we're all spoiled with CGI effects, mindless action and whatnot. But, it's just a great film, but released in the wrong time. Next up, I got the Australian release of The Haunting. Yeah, I've always wanted this one. This was originally released, I think, in 1999, along with American Pie. It was kind of released around the same time. But yeah, I always liked this one. It's not a great film, but it's one of those solid popcorn horror flicks. But yeah, and it says Region B, but it works with Region A players as well. Also got Kirk Douglas's favorite film of all his films that he's been in, Lonely Are the Brave. Also co-stars Gina Rowlands and Walter Matthau. Yeah, it's sad that he's no longer around, but he lived a wonderful life. I think about 103 years. So yeah, and he got some nice artwork inside. Check it out. Pretty cool. Actually, let me take this disc out. You can see the artwork behind there too. There you go. Pretty cool. All right, next film is Brighton Rock, starring Richard Antonborough. And I haven't seen this one yet, but heard wonderful things about this classic, so looking forward to it. This was released in 1948, and it's put out by Kino Lorber. Also, Twilight Time, unfortunately, went out of business, so I was able to get Underworld, U.S.A. And I'm a huge fan, like I mentioned before, of film noir movies, so this one looks tons of fun. Also got Daylight, starring Sylvester Stallone. Yeah, I've been wanting this one for a while, and I'm not a huge fan of this artwork. I always preferred the original artwork, but yeah, this one also features his son that unfortunately passed away many years back. But yeah, this is one that I've always seen on TV, so it's not like I was in a rush, but able to get that one now. Also got House Sitter, starring Steve Martin and Goldie Hawn. Really fun film. Also got the international release of A Rainy Day in New York. Yeah, this film still hasn't been released, this Woody Allen film here in the States. And it had really bad reviews, unfortunately. But this is a good one to pick up because I'm a huge fan of movies that take place in New York. And also to, of course, add it to the Woody Allen collection. But yeah, this works on Region A players. You don't need a Region free player. Also got a Morgan Freeman classic from the 90s, also co-starring Ashley Judd, Kiss the Girls. So yeah, I haven't seen this one yet, but looking forward to it. I did see it many years back on cable, but obviously not on Blu-ray yet, so since it's still sealed. And finally got the Tailor of Panama, starring Pierce Brosnan, Jeffrey Rush, and also co-starring Jamie Lee Curtis. This film was okay, nothing great, but really nice cinematography. And I'm a huge fan of Pierce Brosnan, of course, being 007 and 4 films that he starred in. So anyway, that is my latest haul, guys. Thanks for watching. As always, take care. Subscribe to my channel if you're new here, and if you're already a subscriber, I appreciate it. Till next time, take care.